Hey YouTube, thanks for watching. My name is Isaac Spoon, and I wanted to go over 5 things that I love about this 2021 Ford Ranger after driving it and owning it for 5,000 miles. So stay tuned and we'll check it out.
All right, mother son of a gun, mother Ford Ranger, Ford Ranger.
So my first item that I absolutely love is the fuel efficiency. This is a 2021 Lariat trimmer Ford Ranger. So it's the top trim interior and the top off-road trim that they offer. The factory MPG rating was 19 miles per gallon. I drive 70 miles round trip to and from work every single day. So any improvement over whatever the factory rating is very well appreciated from me. This is coming from a vehicle that I was getting 12 to 13 miles per gallon if I was lucky. That was a 2004 Toyota Sequoia before this. So this is almost double what I was getting in that Sequoia. And I just couldn't be happier. Driving on the highway, I don't really baby it at all. I'm driving anywhere from 65 to 80 miles an hour around Dallas to and from work, kind of just with the flow of traffic. So whenever I try to baby this, I really get, closer to 24, 25, 26 miles per gallon. This 23 MPG, this is this week's average. This is 3 days in, so 210 miles. I got an average of 23 miles per gallon. And this is driving however I want. This is not babying the pedal at all. This is just getting up to speed and staying at speed with the flow of traffic. That's my number one thing that I really appreciate about this vehicle. So the number two thing that I actually kind of was surprised about enjoying was this screen here. I know the new Rangers have like the big panel screen like the Teslas have, and there's some companies that make some aftermarket for this, but I really wasn't expecting this screen to be as good as it really is. The videos make it seem like there's a little bit of a lag, and I just don't like stuff that lags, especially when it's a touch screen. It just kind of feels cheap to me. But this screen doesn't feel like that at all. The screen feels very high quality. It connects with everything inside the vehicle really well. I'm really happy with how it, how responsive it is to the inputs that I'm trying to, interact with on it. And this was kind of a shock to me because I really, really, really was not expecting to like this screen. And I was already looking at alternative options on how to change this out. But whenever I got it and drove it back, I think I'm going to just keep it as it is. I really don't have an issue with it. And like I said earlier, coming from an older vehicle, I put an aftermarket touchscreen and Apple CarPlay head unit in that. And this one is better than that one, which was in that vehicle, was a Alpine Halo 9 unit, which is a pretty nice unit. But I just don't have any complaints about this at all, and I'm probably going to keep this in here for the whole time that I own this vehicle. So I tried to show you the logo on the dash during the daytime, but it's not working because it's daytime, and I don't know how to make it show up. But one thing that I didn't know about this vehicle when I first purchased it was that it had auto dimming brights. Again, for the third time, I've talked about my older vehicle that I had before this. I've never experienced driving a vehicle that has auto dimming brights, and I didn't know this one had it at first. Shortly after I bought it, I found out that it does have it, and man, it is such a dream driving that and not having to worry about turning your brights on and off for, somebody in the middle of the countryside here. That's not a big deal to a lot of people, I'm sure, but to me, it's just like one of those little touches that I just really appreciate. And the way that that automatic A on the right side of that dial, that logo will come up here on the dash, kind of up around the area right next to the mileage there, and that will show you that your brights are on auto dim. That's my number three thing that I really do like about this truck. The number four thing that I like about this 2021 Ford Ranger is the rear locker that comes from the factory on here. You can always put in lockers, like that's no issue. That was always on my list for the Sequoia. It had a center diff locker, but um, the rear locker was something that I was always, had on my list, but it's kind of the expense for that is kind of high. And there was always something a little bit more there was always something I wanted a little bit more than the rear locker, because I wasn't like, regularly going off-roading, and the Sequoia did very well for the off-roading that I did do. However, this coming with the rear locker already, having a factory OEM button that just, turns it on and turns it off, it's been very pleasant, and I couldn't be happier with this. Definitely used it while I was in Moab, and it did fantastic. Number 5 thing that I really appreciate about this truck after owning it for 5,000 miles is the interior space. I'm 6'5", I weigh about 275. I'm not a small dude by any means. My dad is about the same size as me, and we both sat in this truck driving back from Montana to Texas really without any discomfort at all. The interior is large enough to be comfortable for tall people like myself and big people. The back seat is large enough to where it's still functional. It is a little bit tight behind my seat. You can kind of see, but there's enough space back there to still have a full-size adult, sit back there and not be very uncomfortable. This seat next to me is a little bit farther forward than my seat, and I put my 2-year-old toddler's car seat in back there, and it doesn't have any issue, and it's still rear facing. So a lot of those rear facing car seats kind of, stick into the front of the vehicle a little bit more than a person would. And I have no issue getting it back there and still having the person who's in the front being very comfortable. So that's one thing that I wasn't really expecting to be surprised about, was the actual interior space in here. I mean, this is not by any means a full-size truck, but it's a lot larger of an interior than I was expecting to have for a mid-size truck. So definitely don't worry about the interior space if you're looking at getting one of these. So there we have it, YouTube. There's the 5 things that I love about this truck after 5,000 miles of ownership. I couldn't be happier. I love the Sequoia that I had before this, but I'm very happy with the switch that I made in getting the Ranger here. And again, I highly recommend considering getting one for yourself. It's such a great vehicle. I couldn't be happier, and it's so capable off-road, and it's so capable on-road as well. It kind of fits a perfect little niche of people who want something that they can enjoy on the weekend while still giving some kind of ability to haul things. The truck bed's not a huge truck bed, but it still gives you the ability more so than a car, but it still gives you good fuel efficiency. It's kind of like the middle ground of everything, which is what really appealed to me. So couldn't be happier with my experience with it so far, and I look forward to many more years of ownership. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video. I have another one that goes over 5 things that I hate after 5,000 miles with this truck, so if that interests you, go check it out. I'm going to be posting some videos in the future of maintenance items and different mods that I'm putting on the truck. So again, check out the channel, consider subscribing, and keep on enjoying life out there. Thanks for watching.